Guys, welcome to Bad Days. We were about to film a video on Sneeko. He's a really terrible, awful guy. But then the Try Guys dropped a video just titled, What Happened? So I guess they're going to be addressing this sooner. We all knew that they were going to be dropping a podcast episode really soon, talking about everything. But I guess they're going to go and start. It's a 5-minute video, and we're going to react to it. We're probably going to pause it a little bit, go through it, and just see how they responded to what is probably the biggest controversy, the fucking BuzzFeed Try Guys. Zay is very out of internet culture, so I try to bring him in, and this one was one that somehow even reached him, the far reaches of the universe. But yeah, we're gonna watch that and give you our thoughts. Also, hope you guys don't mind. We're bringing 2 people into this format and talking about drama. But let's get into it. Transparently, we watched the first minute of this already, but let's watch it.
Ned Fulmer is no longer working with the Try Guys. By now, we're assuming.
I wonder. I know. Sorry, it's a stupid thing to pause for. But who do you think? How do you think that conversation was of which one of us gets to say the line? Who gets to say Ned Fulmer is no longer working for the Try? I don't know why I'm doing a Donald Trump impression.
Ned Fulmer
is no longer working for the Try Guys.
Doesn't
he
belong
did
there
things that
anymore.
even I wouldn't do. No, they did the same thing.
Yes.
Literally. You've seen the Reddit threads and TikToks and tweets and news articles. We want to give you a timeline of what's transpired and some transparency into our decision making. Throughout this video, there will be things that we want to say or go into further, but as I'm sure you're aware, there are some legal issues we have to consider as we go through everything.
That was a big thing that I talked about in my initial video that I think was my biggest hesitancy. You can't outright fire a guy like Ned. He owns a fourth of the company. Also, he had that employee relationship. So it's everybody wants to fire Alex Herring from Try Guys too. They want her to be gone and have her life shamed, but if you fire her, you've created the chance for a wrongful termination suit that will destroy these other 3 men. I mean, not Eugene. Eugene has a thriving career outside of Try Guys. Look how handsome he looks. But
we had an interesting discussion about this the other day. I think when I was saying that if I were her, I wouldn't even want to come back to work. But you made a point. What was your point?
She should. I mean, she should run that play. Like the power that she has in her hands, essentially. If they cannot prove through wrong, inability to perform job, that this relationship was affecting the workplace environment, because I think there have been employee accounts of hey, I wasn't, they made us uncomfortable, they made us stay silent about this whole romance thing that was going on, so it made the workplace uncomfortable. If they can prove that, then they're in the clear. But if they can't do that, then they're in this position of they're going up against an employee, and thankfully in this country, most of the things, most legal matters like that, you're going to have more power as far as being a wrongfully terminated employee than you are going to be employers, because we love them and they're the talent and they're the heart and soul of it, and they are the Try Guys, but they're bosses, right? So if they fire her, she could destroy their existences, honestly. Which sucks because, I'm not in the fucking Try Guys. Fuck you, Alexandria Herring. You're a shit person. So are you, Ned Fulmer, but Alexandria, also shit.
Bunch of bad people here.
Yeah.
On Labor Day weekend, multiple fans alerted us that they had seen Ned and an employee engaging in public romantic behavior.
Public, mind you.
Public. Yeah, we were. If you look at the Twitter threads, there was him out at restaurants.
They were going on dinner dates
in broad daylight too.
Broad fucking daylight.
No shame at all.
The thing was, they had some of those. One of those pictures is in this New York area called Chelsea. Chelsea's just the brightest, most this is not where you take a side chick area. This is where you take your wife. And he's yeah, we're gonna have dinner here. My wife's never gonna find out.
He doesn't know about motels.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were doing, and they went to a Harry Styles concert together. It's a lot. And by the way, guys, I know we're pausing a bunch. We're 35 seconds, and we've already paused twice to talk about stuff. This is us breaking this down. So if you want to watch this video in its entirety without stops, I'm obviously going to link it below so you guys can watch that. And in general, you want to lend them support depending on how the rest of this plays out.
Let's see.
Right? You're welcome to. But yeah, I think that's the most frustrating thing. It was such a public relationship. I don't know how, and apparently, I got news at the end of the filming of the last video that it went on for over a year.
We reached out to check on that employee. Ned confirmed the reports and since confirmed that this had been going on for some time, which was obviously very shocking to us, and we just want you to know that we had no idea this was going on. All of that information was just as shocking to us as all of this has been for you this week.
And thus began a 3-week process of engaging with employment lawyers, corporate lawyers, HR, PR, and more, in order to make sure we were taking all necessary steps. From the jump, we were acutely aware of just how contrary this was to the values of the company we've built and those of everyone who works here. This is something we took very seriously. We refused to sweep things under the rug. That is not who we are, and it's not what we stand for.
We immediately removed Ned from work activities and engaged an HR professional to conduct a thorough review of the facts. We also opted to remove Ned from our releases pending the results of that review. Over a few weeks, that's included removing his section from videos, digitally removing him from others, and choosing not to feature him in our merch throws. Honestly, I want to give major props to our editing staff for how deftly they've handled that. There are several videos that we've deemed as fully unreleasable. You will never see them, and that is due to his involvement. And that's a decision that has cost us lots of money. We will not be able to recoup that money, but it's a decision we stand by proudly.
Now, we can't talk about the details of the review, but suffice to say, we found that Ned had engaged in conduct unbecoming of our team, and we knew that we could not move forward with him.
Now, I don't know if they're doing like a PR thing here, but there's no better move than to include like fumbling over your words.
Yeah.
It adds a very human element to it. And I think these guys are very sincere, so I don't necessarily think they're doing it, but in general, like if you're doing an apology video or something like that, bookmark this in case I ever get canceled and I apologize later. There's nothing better than like doing the whole thing. Like you ever seen like James Charles did his apology and the camera started, he goes, "Hey guys, you're little boys." Yeah, so
Yeah, I prefer this to like jump cuts as well.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, no idea. Oh. Yeah, no.
I didn't know that he was cheating on his wife.
Yeah.
This does feel a lot more sincere. We passed Keith right here. We went to the Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness red carpet premiere.
Yeah.
We were not invited guests. We were simply there. And I was walking down the road, and me and Keith passed each other, and we gave and I looked at him, and I just gave him a polite little head nod, and we gave each other a nice little acknowledgement and parted our separate ways just a few months ago, which turns out was during the length of this entanglement, as Jada Pinkett Smith would call it.
Hope we can see him again.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hey, try guys. You need two
Hey,
POCs.
We can try it.
We'll try. We
try
can try to
anything.
be the try guys.
Aha. Oh, goodness.
So on Friday, September 16th, the three of us signed written consent of the members of Second Try LLC approving the removal of Ned as a manager and an employee.
Nice.
We chose not to rush into the announcement for a few reasons. Namely, there are real people who have been affected. And while we consider this a company matter, there's just also a family at the center of this.
Now, we were always planning on a public statement, and we're working towards that with our team, but in light of rapidly accelerating speculation, we knew we couldn't wait any longer.
Smart.
We are obviously incredibly shocked and deeply hurt by all of this. This is someone who we'd built a brand and a company with for 8 years. We feel saddened, not just personally, but on behalf of our staff and our fans who believed in us.
Eugene.
I don't know that we'll ever be able to fully articulate the pain we feel at this moment. It's hard to rewatch old videos that we love and are proud of. We're losing a friend, we're losing someone we built a company with, we have countless memories with. We just made a TV show together. I'm sure many of you feel the same way. It's weird. We're sorry that this ever happened, and we don't know what more to say.
Little context. My girlfriend tells me that Eugene is actually like best friends with Ariel. So this is probably hitting him in a different way that's hitting the other guys, because it's you bring people into your lives like that.
Like you can ruin everything.
Yeah.
Like everything from like even folks that you don't even think about.
Yeah, this sucks. That whole thing. I mean, you could tell like Keith is doing a really good job keeping his emotions in check. The other two are. Eugene is a fucking brick wall of a man, but look at him. Even he's cracking under this.
Yeah, I would hate
situation.
to have to face these three after doing what I did.
Yeah, God.
There's also our staff of 20 strong who they just don't deserve the negative attention our brand is now getting because they didn't do anything. But they're our family, and they're some of the most talented, creative minds in the world, and our primary focus right now is making sure they feel comfortable and proud coming to work. The work they do never ceases to astound us, and frankly, there's just no world in which we could have navigated all of this without them. Now, there are videos that were shot ahead of all this, right? We're going to be editing Ned out like the new season of Without a Recipe, and we're working with our editors and finding creative solutions to the footage. And we also have some branded videos that we've already committed to. So when you see a video that's sponsored in a few weeks and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Well, yeah, it is kind of weird. It's just how things are, and that's why.
Yeah, you're gonna do some deep.
Look, I get that when stuff like this happens, there's going to be speculation and gossip. And we ask that you respect the privacy of the family members and employees who may be caught up in this. We also want to remind you that the internet has a tendency to be a lot harsher towards women than men. So please, we ask that you exercise kindness.
Now, I did open this video with insulting Alexandria Herrick, and I am fully admitting that I may have just been a part of the problem there. I dug into Ned Fulmer pretty intensely in that first video. I think they're not both equally wrong. Ned is obviously more in the wrong than her, but you can't deny the fact that she was in a 10-year relationship herself. She knew the wife of this man. There's so much going on. On top of that, her fiance warned Ned. He said, like, Will literally DM'd him and said, stay away from my wife. I know what you guys are doing. Stop this. He let it slide. He let it out. He said, I'm not telling your wife. Just stop. And Ned refused to stop, and Alexandria refused to stop too. So, we're not going to... follow-up video is going to make this make more sense, but we're not trying to go full Sneeko on this and blame her, because he is beyond at fault here.
And he had a lot more to lose too than she did.
Absolutely.
So there's no reason to cheat in the first place, but especially no reason to cheat when you're like a CEO of a very successful company, and this can.
And
this
your
gets out.
brand is my wife, my wife, my
Yeah,
wife.
literally.
I'm Ned. I like my wife. Look at these three handsome men right here too. Each of them brings something to the table. I think it looks better. This picture looks better without him.
3 guys are better than
Try, guys. TRI.
Yeah, see? It makes
like
sense now.
literally, it makes sense for anyways. But that's not even like a joke or a bit. And I'm not trying to disparage people for their looks, but I think these people are very distinct looking men, and he is just the vanilla kind of guy who would cheat on his wife.
I got him and the guy in the middle confused a lot too.
Oh man, why'd you say that after I just said the
Sorry.
others?
Things will change here. What we hope is that within this, there's also the opportunity for positive growth and better videos ahead. But it's going to be hard. This whole thing is going to be really fucking hard.
And we imagine you have lots of questions, a lot more questions right now, and we're going to have more to say in the future. Just right now, we're focused on bringing the best content possible between now and the end of the year, and then figuring out what the future of this channel looks like from there.
That's it for now. Again, more to come. Some things may change. We are just sort of figuring it out all one day at a time.
Thank you for your support. We appreciate you. And we look forward to introducing you to the next era of the Try Guys ahead.
It really, really does suck. I mean, it is.
Because now they have to change so much. They have to lose money, like on principle, and they have to lose a friend.
Which is, I think the money is less important
even
than the
worse.
friend. I think that's the tough part, right?
Even worse.
Because, like, we've known people. We had a friend. There's a group of 4 of us for a very long time. It was me, Isaiah, our friend Noah, and there was another guy. We had a 4th guy for a very long time, and we're talking like I was literally looking. We used to take an annual picture every year, and it was a big part of our lives, just taking this picture, just because it showed us growing up, you know. And he's been our friend since we were in middle school. Super important to the boys. To me, he was a brother to me. He was beyond that, right? And my life has gotten exponentially more abundant and filled. I'm in a wonderful relationship. I live in a wonderful house with great friends. I'm out of an abusive parent situation. I have great pets. I have new friends that I love and I truly adore. But I miss my old friend. But he's done things and he said things that for me are irredeemable, and I have no intention of bringing him back in because he's a person who didn't want to take accountability. And that hurt me so much. So I can empathize with them. Like, it's a different situation. It's different lines being crossed, and it's different pain. And I'm not going to pretend to fully understand the scope of what the Try Guys are going through now. But I get that. I get losing, giving up on a friend like that, and not giving up on a friend. Having to make a judgment call about your life and the importance of your morality and the accountability of the people around you. So that. Definitely been hard for me. It's definitely something I can empathize with. And I'm glancing at Twitter because we're prepping the Sneeko video, and I'm already seeing that this is trending on Twitter. A lot of people saying Baby Eugene sitting in the new Try Guy video, mad as hell, OMG, because he does look heated. Yeah. Which, oh my lord, he looks heated in this. Wait, hold on. I can. Can I make this full screen? I can adjust this later. I'll do it in editing. But Eugene is not happy. Holy shit.
You know, he's in his dark era right now.
He looks like a god. Like he looks like an angry god. Again, I feel like I've done my fair share of joking about the situation and stuff, and it really is. It's sad. It's very, very sad, and like the repercussions. Because I didn't talk about the ramifications of this, and maybe we've talked about it, but Ned's kids, unless they change their last name and they move to a place that doesn't like really, really far, kind of off the grid, somewhere in the Midwest, and just like restart their entire lives. They will never be able to Google their father's name. And down the road, right, I think their names are public. Their names in Google search will be tied. It will be like, this Fulmer's dad, Ned Fulmer, the man who cheated on Ariel Fulmer. Like, it's going to be a thing. Like,
It's gonna follow them forever.
He did something that is going to
story.
follow and ruin them for so many years to come. And I think that is something that you really, really have to sit and think about, of just how heartbreaking that part of it all is. There haven't been much more details about the entanglement that have come out since then. There's definitely been a lot of speculation. There's a lot of rumors that there are going to be other people coming out in the days to come. Based on this message, I don't know if there is, because I think they would have touched on this, or maybe they can't because of the legalities of the situation.
Maybe it's still unfolding.
Yeah.
Much more to know.
Much more to know. There have been reports that Ned and Ariel have been seen. No, it's Ariel. I'm stupid. I said it wrong in the first video, and this is my public apology. But yeah, they've been seen jogging around town, and they're both still wearing their wedding rings. Potentially, they could still be in like arbitration, because getting divorced is a very difficult process, especially when there are children involved. The court often mandates you to do everything possible to rectify the relationship before kind of forcing a breakup, because it's just not forcing a divorce, or using that is a final straw option, not the first option brought to you because of how it'll affect the children. So the Try Guys have some trying times ahead of them, not to make light. Who's in front of me, man?
The Try Guys have a trying time ahead of them. I've been Hassan Khadair. No.
That's bad. Yeah, no. I don't know if there's much more to talk on this subject. It's definitely been talked to death on the internet. The memes have been hilarious. My favorite is a guy who was like, "You said we're the Try Guys. I was trying something. Adultery? You were trying adultery?" It's like,
all the memes are all top tier.
yeah, they're all really, really funny, and it's sad because it's at the expense of a family and a situation. But that is going to be Ned Fulmer's burden to bear. Ned Fulmer, you will always be a piece of shit, and I'm going to end this video the same way I ended the last video. My name's Hassan. That's Isaiah. Sincerely hope your bad days are your best stories. Except you, Ned Fulmer. Go fuck yourself.